If there's one thing a football fan hates, it's when their team loses their best player. So sorry Chelsea fans, but it looks as if Eden Hazard could be leaving Stamford Bridge. If he keeps up this amazing form at the start of the season, a dream move to Real Madrid may be on the cards. But fear not, because there are some fantastic players out there to replace the Belgian wizard, and here are 6 of the best. Up first is someone whose playing time is still limited at Real Madrid despite Cristiano Ronaldo leaving in the summer. When Real Madrid's top goal scorer of all time left for Juventus, there was a space open in the squad for Isco to fill. However, he found himself yet again on the sidelines as Marco Asensio has taken over the role. Now, it's not undeserved because Asensio is a fantastic player, and even though he plays deeper, it's still the one spot in the team that was up for grabs. So what does Isco do now that his playing time is still limited? Well, that's where Chelsea come into the fold. Isco won't cost as much as Asensio will, as he's seen as the future of Spanish football. But if Isco wants to live up to all that early career hype, then a move to Stamford Bridge could do him good. But why would he actually join? Well, at Real Madrid, the chances aren't going to be coming thick and fast anytime soon. By next summer, Asensio will have another year of experience under his belt. Mateo Kovacic will be returning from loan from Chelsea. Karim Benzema and Gareth Bale will probably still be the number one choices up front. If Benzema leaves, they'll be replacing him with another striker, and to top it all off, Madrid will probably have Eden Hazard by then. This all spells bad news for Isco, so if he wants to get the game time to get back to the top of his game, well, he should look no further than West London, and I don't mean Fulham. Now, next up is a different kind of player to Isco. However, if he keeps up his early season form, there is no reason why Chelsea shouldn't be signing him. Much like Hazard did a few years ago, Nicolas Pepe is strutting his stuff at Lille in Ligue 1, and his mixture of creativity, speed and skill is seeing him rise to the number one target in a lot of teams' lists around Europe. And the good thing about him, he won't cost too much. Now, this isn't an insult against the French league or against Lille, but if he was coming from a bigger club, he definitely costs more. Look at Malcolm over the summer, for example. He was linked with absolutely everybody, but because he was playing for Bordeaux and not necessarily near the top of the French league, he only went to Barcelona for around 40 million euros. As for Pepe, well, he's been linked with a number of clubs for around 26 million pounds. This means if Chelsea sell Hazard to Real Madrid for over 100 million, which is what's been reported, they'll be spending just a quarter of their income on a new replacement for him. That's pretty good business in anyone's books. But talking of replacements that will cost a lot of money, we have 2 superstars from Dortmund who will no doubt be on top of many clubs' list this January and in the upcoming transfer windows. First up is the American wonder kid Christian Pulisic. Despite being in the first team at Dortmund for quite a few seasons now, he's still only 20, and to be honest, his potential knows no bounds. I'd say he's the one player on this list who's actually most like Hazard in the way he plays. He's got incredibly low centre of gravity, he's exceptionally quick, has brilliant close control and ball skills with both feet, and could really fill Hazard's boots at Stamford Bridge. Over the summer, both Manchester United and Liverpool were linked with a £60 million deal for him, which in this day and age is still a lot of money, but again, should Hazard bring in around 100 million for Chelsea, won't be too much of an outlay for them. Whether or not Dortmund wants to sell him is another question. However, in the past, their ability to hold on to some of their biggest players hasn't always been their strongest suit. For example, Mario Götze, Lewandowski, Aubameyang, Mkhitaryan and Kagawa have all left for bigger clubs when they've come calling. So for the right price, Pulisic could be next on that list. Our fourth player on this list is a teammate of Christian Pulisic and someone whose attraction to English clubs will be ever more so as he's actually a homegrown English player. Last summer, Jadon Sancho left Manchester City for about 8 million. Now, just a year and a bit later, and being this season's assist king in Europe, apparently he's been linked with moves for over £100 million. Now, that kind of price tag would put most teams off. However, as mentioned before, they'll be taking a lot of money for Hazard, and even if they don't, well, Chelsea aren't exactly poor in the first place. Much like Hazard, Jadon Sancho's got incredible feet and is incredibly quick with and without the ball. However, his young age means that he may not be ready for all the first team action and pressure at the moment, but if Chelsea do decide to spend big money on him, I'm sure that he'll be running up and down, haunting defences at Stamford Bridge for many years to come. This, however, does segue me onto a slightly different point when it comes to Chelsea. They are known for not giving youngsters a chance. Just think of Kevin De Bruyne, Mo Salah and Romelu Lukaku as a few players who in the last few years have shown that they definitely had the potential, but just weren't given the chances at Chelsea. From an English perspective, I'd hate to see Jadon Sancho go there and be the world's most expensive bench warmer. But when the big money comes calling, it's often difficult to turn down. But moving away from the Bundesliga and back to Ligue 1, where it's been an eventful summer for Lyon's captain Nabil Fekir. After a proposed move to Liverpool fell through over the summer due to a failed medical, he then went to Russia and won the World Cup with France. But after a few months' disappointment and eventual reintegration back into the Lyon squad, could a move to England still be on the cards? Well, why not? At 25 years old and as the captain of Lyon, he's got more than enough experience and know-how to come into Stamford Bridge and hit the ground running. An excellent attacking midfielder with more than an eye for goal, which was demonstrated with his 18 goals last season. If Chelsea could bring him in, they'll have one hell of a player on their hands. His move to Liverpool fell through, and that meant that Jadon Sancho was eventually bought in. So with the minutes not really there for Sancho, if Chelsea can offer him a guaranteed starting place, there's no doubt in my mind that he'd actually want to join. Adding on to this, he has a fantastic relationship with fellow French forward Olivier Giroud. And given how important Giroud has been in Hazard's form this season, I can see the pair linking up pretty well should Fekir join. Lastly but not least, we have a replacement from within the team for Eden Hazard, and if recent comments are anything to go by, Hazard's almost hand-picked him as his successor himself. Okay, he didn't exactly say those words, but the way Hazard spoke about Ross Barkley's ability to become one of the best midfielders in the world should give not only Barkley but also the Chelsea fans more faith and confidence that Barkley is the man to fill Hazard's shoes. Hazard has been quoted as saying he is a good young player and definitely one for the future. If he's given the confidence and the right players around him, he could be one of the best midfielders in the world. He then went on to say he can run, shoot, dribble, assist, score and do so much more. And if he's given the opportunity, could be one of the best midfielders. That's pretty high praise indeed. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if the best player in your team says that about you, well, it's a damn big confidence boost. His start to the season has been anything short of brilliant, and he's earned a recall into the England squad. So, if Chelsea do decide that Ross Barkley is the man to step in when Hazard leaves, well, firstly, it'll be a much cheaper option, but secondly, they'll have someone who already knows the place and is definitely suited to their style of play, as has been seen already this season. Personally, I think Hazard is one of the best players in the world and will no doubt demand a fee of over 100 million whoever decides to sign him. For Chelsea, that means they'll have a lot of money to play with for their replacement, but I can see someone like Fekir or Pulisic joining Sarri's men. Of course, it's not always easy when you lose your best player, but bringing in a player of this quality doesn't necessarily make Chelsea weaker, it just means they'll have to slightly alter their game. But with that said, that's the 6 players who I think could replace Eden Hazard should he leave Chelsea in the transfer window this January or even next summer. But who do you guys think will be the best option to replace him? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash the like button while you're there, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.